Hi there, so today I'm gonna be talking about Bitcoin and Michael Burry. Nice to see you again and welcome back. Let's start with Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin reversal coming? Today I'm gonna be looking at two on-chain indicators, the Spent Output Profit Ratio SOPR and the RHollow Ratio. Let's first take a look at the SOPR indicator. In simple words, it's an indicator that shows if the market is in a state of profit or loss. But how does it work? Well, readings above 1, which is the black line here, show that the market is in an aggregate profit, while those below 1 show that the market is in an aggregate loss. The main characteristic of bullish trends is that the SOPR, which is the orange line here, bounces at the line of 1 instead of falling behind it, as you can see here. The SOPR broke down below the line of 1 in January 2018, and this suggested that the bullish trend had come to an end. Afterwards, the bottom was reached on December 11th of the same year, of course, at a reading of 0.86. As you can see, the bottom was reached 11 months after the first breakdown. In the current bull run, the SOPR broke down below the line of 1 in May of 2021 here. And the low was reached 13 months after the first breakout, as you can see here. Do you notice the pattern now? Now let's go to the interesting part. After this bottom of 2018, the SOPR moved above the line of 1 on April 5th of 2019. And this confirmed that the bottom was in. Now, if we try to apply the same theory to our current situation, the SOPR made an attempt at breaking out above the line of 1 on August 5th, which is this arrow here. While the attempt was unsuccessful, the indicator is gearing up for another breakout attempt. So, to summarize it, if the SOPR were to move above 1, this would confirm that the bottom is in. Now let's take a look at the second indicator, the RHollow Ratio. The RHollow Ratio is an indicator that's created by the ratio between the 1 week and the 1 to 2 years hodl wave bands, which is what you can see here. Again, the black line is the price and the orange line is the indicator. Ratings above the 50,000, which is highlighted in red, indicate that a significant percentage of BTC supply is in the hands of short-term holders. This reading is generally linked to tops, as was the case for the top of 2013 and the top of 2017. However, this was not the case for the 2021 top, which was made at about 14,000. The level was 14,000. Now let's take a look at our current situation. The RHollow Ratio is currently at a level of 360 right here, which is slightly above the ratio of 350. And if this happens, this is considered as oversold. So historically, decreases into this oversold territory, subsequent increases will happen. So this is a sign that the market is in the bottom. Moreover, it is possible to draw an ascending line connecting the 2015 bottom and the 2019 bottom. If this line holds, it would suggest that the ratio has bounced at the line once more and confirmed the bottom in BTC. Now, let's keep talking about BTC. 300,000 BTC are now owned by people who bought at recent lows. According to Glassnode, Bitcoin moved from weaker hands to those of the people stepping in at the lows. A pool of buyers that entered at the lows is indicated by a constructive divergence for short-term holders. As you can see here, the ownership structure of Bitcoin has been reshaped. It's worth noting that even though the price of Bitcoin is ranging right now, it has gone up from the low of 22K to a high of 25K approximately. Now here we have one of the catalysts for all this movement. Since the Luna collapse, 300,000 BTC have moved from long-term Bitcoin holders to short-term Bitcoin holders. Even though it might seem like a high number, if we look at the long-term supply, it has been ranging between these two numbers, 13.56 and 13.27, both in millions. So as I mentioned before, there was only a change of 300,000 BTC, and this shows that the cohort inflow and outflow dynamics are generally balanced. But what does this mean? Well, a rise in the number of coins belonging to short-term holder cohort in this context refers to a bear market floor. So, according to historical precedents, this is a departure. And all this is happening because these type of holders are typically skilled at buying peaks and selling bottoms. So this might be also an additional sign that Bitcoin is near the bottom if it's not already in the bottom. But just remember that Bitcoin remains in accumulation. This means that it can go up, it can go down, nobody knows, but we're gathering all the information to try to find out what's gonna happen next. And lastly, Michael Burry exits all markets. First of all, Michael Burry became famous because of the movie The Big Short. Well, it went mainstream because of that. Anyone who was in finance already knew who he was. It's a very good movie, by the way, I totally recommend it. And he also became famous because he predicted the most recent correction in the cryptocurrency market. And now he came back because he just liquidated 95% of his portfolio, leaving only one asset on his balance sheet. Now, answering to what you have in your mind, why should you care? Well, as I said, Michael got his fame by predicting the great crisis of 2008, and he made a lot of money of it. And the most remarkable part is that very, very few people saw it coming, and this was why he actually became famous. So there is a big precedent that he knows what he's doing, in short words. You can see here the official tweet where he states that he sold every position except the positions of GEO. GEO Group is a C Corp that invests in private prisons and mental health facilities, including illegal immigration detention facilities, and it's 10% up today. So with Michael Burry closing almost 100% of his portfolio, he's basically betting on a further reversal of the market. If you're wondering why this would move the cryptocurrency market, is because currently the crypto market is correlated to traditional assets. So it is correlated to S&P 500 and the Nasdaq indexes. Based on what I just said, we extrapolated from his actions that he was predicting another fall in the market. But that's not all, because back in July he stated that we're still missing one plunge in the market. And that might not be obvious because we recently had an increase of 20% in the majority of the digital assets markets. But if his predictions are right, we're gonna see a massive plunge coming up in the following months. So that's all for today, and see you in the next one.